Welcome to Orange County Power Players, where we spotlight the personal, professional, and financial success stories of OC's top leaders. Here's your host, Danny Flores.
Welcome back, everyone. This is Danny Flores with OC Power Players, and today we have Ben Reinberg zooming in from Newport Beach. Ben is the CEO of Alliance Consolidated Group of Companies, an investor, a mentor, educator, and a philanthropist. Ben is living proof that wealth can start with you and last for generations to come. Becoming a principal owner at the young age of 23, Ben has spent the last 30 years building a $500 million commercial real estate empire from the ground up. He has acquired and managed billions of dollars of properties, developing millions of square feet of office, industrial, and medical properties throughout the United States, with offices in Deerfield, Illinois, and Newport Beach, California. Welcome, Ben.
Thanks, Danny. I appreciate it very much. Thank you for having me on.
Yes. So can you give us a little quick snapshot of what your business is and what you do and how you got there at such a young age?
Sure. Well, just to start, I was born to build and disrupt. That's who I am. I was born to build companies and disrupt industries. And I started in commercial real estate in my 20s. And I've always been a principal. So being from Chicago, we cut our teeth in industrial and office. That's what my company that I founded years ago, almost 30 years ago. That's what we started, industrial and office. And we got into retail. And now we're one of the leaders in medical office. So we're strictly principals. We own, manage, act as landlords, principals, as we say in the business, around the United States. We own in various states and counties around the United States. Medical office is a large focus. We just opened a multifamily division that we're starting to acquire properties. And so leadership has always been a responsibility that I've embraced, Danny. It's something I take near and dear. And over time, I've learned to grow into this role using challenges like isolation and resilience and being misunderstood as valuable assets. So I was born to build and disrupt. And so what most people know about me is I am committed to educate. I've been mentoring and educating people in commercial real estate for decades, and I'm dedicated to educating people about real estate and debunking the myths perpetuated by rookies who claimed it's a get-rich-quick path, which it's not. Real estate, especially commercial real estate, the industry that I'm in, is a long-term game. It's a marathon business that requires a strong grasp of the fundamentals. And so it's a process. And you get to a point in your career where they say the first third of your career in commercial real estate, you're on your back. The second third, you're on your feet. And the last third, you're on your stomach. Well, I'm in the last third of my career. I'm 54 years old, soon to be 55 in a few weeks. And so I am very committed to education and educating people. And if you follow my brand and see what I do and the coursework we're going to be providing, education and helping others has been a big commitment of mine in commercial real estate.
How about, like there's some groups that are out there that say you don't need money to do acquisitions. You can use other people's money. You mentioned earlier that you guys are the principals of everything you guys do. How does that differ, and how did you get there versus what everybody else is preaching?
Well, I did it with shoe leather. I did it with hard work and persistence. I mean, there was no internet at the time when I got started. So for me, I had to go out and meet people and hustle and work long days and weekends and raise money and network and help people and listen and work on myself and all these things I've had to do to culminate into the success I've had. And so for you out there, you can do it without money and use other people's money. But it's going to be work. It's going to be hard work. It's going to be rolling up your sleeves. It's going to be making a lot of calls. It's being in the environments. It's putting yourself in uncomfortable positions. All these things you have to do to raise equity, procure debt. I taught myself the business. I taught myself how to underwrite. I am a CPA, but I taught myself how to underwrite, how to look at a deal. What are real estate fundamentals? I did a lot of studying, a lot of reading, a lot of deals I would take notes on. And so it's going to be a process. It's not a get rich quick path. Like I said, you have to be committed to educating yourself. And that's what I've done. And I'm going to shortly be sharing all these different strategies, how to get involved in our business and really become successful, whatever your niche you pick. And so there's a lot of things that inspire me. And so I have a new book coming out in the spring of 2025. I'm really excited about it. And it's based on my commitment to education and leadership, inspired me to write my first book. I wasn't going to write a book. And I said, you know what? I feel I'm obligated to write a book and share all this knowledge I have. So my commitment to education and leadership inspired me to write my first book, and that'll be launched and live in spring of this year, 2025.
Now there's a lot of other groups that do acquisitions. So there's a lot of competition, especially when you're going after buildings that you're trying to buy. How do you differentiate yourself from the other groups to be able to make those acquisitions?
Yeah, it's a great question. When it comes to acquisitions, Danny, it's really doing what you say you're going to do. It's certainty. We provide certainty. We provide certainty to close. We usually don't tie up assets that we're not going to close. We do a lot of underwriting up front. And we have a lot of marketing. We put ourselves out there. I mean, I built a personal brand 3 years ago. And for us, it was important to continue to be a presence out there in the marketplace to educate and to help people. And people know we close. People know we're a specialist in medical office and other asset classes around the country. And so we've been around for a while. It's been a process to be that leader and that thought provoker where brokers and sellers can trust you to know that they're going to get paid. And so at the end of the day for us is the ability to close, the ability to understand the process. We have 200 plus years of leadership team, Danny, at work at this company. So, and we do things differently at this company, and it seems to attract a lot of sellers to us.
Right. Now, how about investors? Do you guys raise money, or did you guys raise money at one point? How does that work?
Yeah, we continue to raise money. We have high net worth accredited investors and family offices around the world that invest with us. And so we continue on a daily basis to raise equity. It's something on top of the mind. You can never have enough equity. So we're always continuing to raise for the different asset classes we have. And so that's part of our capital stack is high net worth accredited investors.
And then once again, I think it's the same philosophy that you use for the brokers, that you have the certainty of closing, that you have the certainty of delivering basically what you guys, I don't want to say promising, but are forecasting, are projecting to deliver, I guess, to the family offices and the high net worth individuals.
Yeah, we have a great track record, and that's part of it. So when it comes to capital, we have a great track record. We have a great leadership team. We have a lot of experience, and we just don't buy deals to buy deals. We do heavy underwriting, assess risk. We're experts in assessing and mitigating risk, which is part of being successful in commercial real estate. Again, it's an education process. You have to be committed to being educated in this business.
Right. Now, what comes easy to you that might be difficult for other groups? What makes you stand out above the rest?
Well, what stands out for us is, like I said, certainty and being able to put together a capital stack, being able to get great debt, being a great fiduciary for the capital that we represent, these high net worth individuals. We do great reporting. We're one of the first companies in the United States to create an investor portal years ago, and our track record speaks for it. And so there are going to be some changes in real estate in 2025. I mean, there's going to be significant transformations that are on the horizon for the real estate market, especially in commercial real estate in 2025. There's trillions of loans that are coming due in the next year or two. And so we're going to explore what's coming and how that will impact this industry. But there should be some great buying opportunities, and there should be plenty of buying opportunities for a lot of people out there.
Is that why you guys opened up the multifamily division? Because of what's coming in the horizon in the multifamily world?
That's exactly why we opened it up. I saw an opportunity literally a year ago. A year ago, I saw the opportunity. I said, it's about time we get into multifamily. It's going to be a lot of opportunities.
Right.
A lot of sponsors over leverage themselves. Values have compressed. It's a good time to start looking at acquisition. So we hired a whole staff to handle that, a bunch of sharpshooters that have a lot of experience that are side by side with us in our new multifamily division. And it's going very well. And so I'm really excited about it. And, what's going on in the market, because people ask me all the time, is people are having trouble refinancing. There's challenges going on. And that's going to have potential ripple effects where values have dropped with rising interest rates. And
Right.
so there's going to be a lot of opportunities where people have to sell. And so my advice is take action, get out there in the market, look at as many properties as you can, be patient, and keep pushing forward. You got to show up every day. I say that to my team. I say that to people that want advice, whether you're in commercial real estate or any business, Danny, is show up, be present, be focused, put the time in, put extra time in if you have to educate. We talked about commitment to education. You have to put the time in to continue to learn, to be successful.
Right. Are there any particular areas in the country that attract you more than others?
We've been doing a lot of business down south. I mean, being from the Midwest, we started in the Midwest in the Chicago area, and then we grew through all the Great Lakes states and the central region throughout the United States. But years ago, I would say probably close to 25 years ago, we got involved in the South. And so we do business South, Southeast, Southwest, Mountain West, parts of the West Coast, Midwest. And we used to do some business in the North and Northeast. Mm-hmm. So for us, a major focus is the Southeast and the South and Southwest. That's a large focus of ours.
Now, if somebody's listening to us right now and wants to get into business, I know there's a lot of people that want to do it. Mm-hmm. What would you suggest would be the path to getting started?
It's a great question. I would definitely encourage people to read my new book coming out. It's going to be coming out in the spring. And the reason why I bring it up, it talks about hard assets and hard money for hard times. That's the title. And you'll learn a lot about how to acquire commercial real estate and what it means and some of my track record and stories that you could gravitate to. But what you need to do is start and pick a niche and make the niche local to you. So for example, being from Chicago, we had every niche imaginable that you could invest in. But for me, it was office and industrial that I gravitated to because I wanted to be a little bit different than my colleagues that were getting involved in multifamily. So Danny, I took the approach of getting involved in that niche. Now find a niche you like, and there's a lot of niches out there. It could be self-storage, industrial, office, medical office, multifamily, retail, different types of retail. There's so many different niches you can get involved in. Government leases. I mean, the list goes on and on. Student housing. Right. So pick a niche that you can gravitate to, focus on an area that's close to home, and then you can start branching out. And that's what we did. We started in Chicago, grew it, started going out. The internet became prevalent. All of a sudden, Adobe came out with PDFs, and next thing you know, it's a lot easier to do some analysis and review deals and look at properties from being in Chicago. And then we go all over the country. And so we have employees all over and a large presence and a leadership team with a tremendous amount of experience. So I encourage people is start slow, start small, start local, and take your time and learn and grow and work on yourself personally.
And what's one of the biggest challenges that you've had to overcome in building yourself, building your team, and building your company?
It was me. I had to get out of my way. I had to realize that I had to delegate. I had to realize I had to get better as a person. I had to realize I had to be a better listener, be patient. I realized that the best version of Ben Reinberg was going to create a massive amount of wealth for my employees and my leadership team, which was going to help us grow. And so years ago, I got into personal development and said, I need to double down on myself. And when I do that, that's going to have a tremendous impact on the people around me. And so long story short, it's really key to open up the keys to success is really work on yourself, really focus on yourself, be able to control your emotions, be able to control who you surround yourself with, and realize that not everyone's going to love you, especially as you start growing, you create success. Right. And you can look at guys like Steve Jobs to whoever, Elon Musk, all these wildly successful jobs. I mean, entrepreneurs out there in the world. I mean, they're not liked. They take criticism. And so in order to take criticism and continue to push forward and deal with challenges in the world, you have to be the best version of yourself. And so I encourage people to work on themselves when they need to.
And do you have a recommendation of a path for personal development that somebody can start with?
Well, I think one, you could start with me. I mean, if you follow me and you follow my journey and read my book and you get involved and you go to benreinberg.com, my website, or you can go to our company, alliancecgc.com. It gives you a good foundation. I have mentors. You know, I'm 54, soon to be 55 years old. I still have mentors I work with. You know, we have a chief people officer in my company to deal with human behavior. So I reach out and do research on what I need. So if it's something where I have to get rid of past trauma and stuff out of my life, I'll look and hire someone that's an expert in that. So I look at, for me personally, when I'm talking about myself, I look at what I personally needed in my life. And that's why I went out and hired. But that's why I always encourage people, find a mentor, a coach that can help you, guide you. There's a lot of things you could do for personal development. You could start off where it doesn't cost you a lot of money. You can learn how to meditate. You can learn how to journal. You can learn what gratitude means. You can have a daily morning routine and evening routine. You can do stuff at lunch to help you emotionally balance yourself and regulate your central nervous system. So I exercise all the time. I'm big. I work out with a trainer here in California. So for me, these are the things I do. I eat healthy. These are the things I do for personal development and growth. I read a lot. I meditate. I take care of myself. I take care of my mind and my body. And that helps me grow and become a better person. And so to start off in a cheap fashion is look at what you're consuming in your body,
Right.
look at what you need to do, and you'll go far in life.
Right, right, exactly. No, those are really good tips. And thanks for sharing. Sometimes it's the simplest things that can start pushing us in the right direction. The idea is just to get started doing something and start building that discipline and moving towards that direction. So that's super, super important. Well, it sounds like things have gone really well for you, but you put in the work. Congratulations on that.
Thank you.
As we wrap up our interview, what does 2025 look like for you?
Well, it's a great question because 2025 looks at us where we're looking at now that we have a new administration coming in, we're going to see as interest rates going to drop because we're going to start producing energy, and hopefully the economy will get better, that we can drop interest rates to help the United States citizens of this country. So what I see coming in 2025, I'm going to see a lot of good buying opportunities with loans coming due, and people are going to have to sell. I think there's some people struggling out there. We still have inflation through the roof. And I feel it'll be a good opportunity to buy. And I feel that lenders will start loosening up and liquidity will be more out there for us to borrow capital as well. So I say be patient, get excited. 2025 is going to be exciting times. These are times where we haven't seen in a while to have great buying opportunities. It's been a little bit slower in commercial real estate the last few years with rising interest rate market and lack of liquidity in the market, but things will definitely improve this year.
Yeah, no, that looks really good. Sounds really exciting for you, and just want to wish you all the best of luck. And thanks for coming on today and sharing your insights and tips with us. But before we go, two things I wanted to ask you is,
Sure.
If somebody wants to get a hold of you, how can they get a hold of you? And the second question is, since you have your book coming out, where's the place they can go to buy your book?
Okay. So when the book comes out, you'll be able to go on Amazon, different areas. You'll be able to go on my website and buy it as well. If you go to benreinberg.com, you can follow me on all the social platforms. You'll be able to buy our new book. You'll be able to buy content, et cetera, et cetera. There will be all this great opportunities. If you want to invest with us, you can go on benreinberg.com. You can also go on alliancecgc.com. That's alliancecgc.com. And feel free to follow us. I'm on all the social media platforms. So is our company. You go on Instagram. You can go on YouTube. You can go on LinkedIn. You can find me. I'm out there. And every day, Danny, we're putting out content to educate our public. So if you go on Instagram and all these different platforms that we're on, Facebook, you'll be able to watch reels and videos, and you'll see our following. That's been tremendous. So
Thank you so much for sharing that.
Thank
And
you.
hopefully everybody was able to get that. And maybe we can, with my audience and everybody else can help your book move up to the #1 bestseller.
Thank you. We appreciate it.
Absolutely.
All right, Danny, be well.
Thank you so much for coming on.
Okay, we'll talk soon.
Thanks for listening to Orange County Power Players. Want to share your success story? Apply to be a guest at ocpowerplayers.com/guest.